Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of Livelihood. In this week's episode, I'll be starting a 4-week series titled The Sibling Bonds, and I'll basically be taking you through the relationships that I have with my different siblings. I'll be touching on being the firstborn of four and what it's like to have a number of siblings that follow you. So, if you want to find out all things about siblinghood and the bonds that are created through this relationship specifically, do stay tuned in. I'll see you now. Okay, so in this week's episode, I'll be touching on the idea of being the firstborn, seeing that I am the firstborn of my home, and I just want to share my experiences with you guys and find out if you're the firstborn at home as well. How is it? How has it been? So I spent the whole week going through research, finding out what are the advantages, what are the challenges that other firstborns out there have been experiencing, just to find out if there are any similarities between us and to touch base on the differences as well. And I found out quite a lot of interesting things. The one that really for me stood out, and I'll tell you why, is the idea that firstborns are expected to set the tone, in a sibling relationship. They're expected to set the path in which the rest of the siblings are then going to follow in. And parents don't explicitly say you're the firstborn and therefore you need to do the right things, because some people, your siblings are looking up to you, and whatever you do they might do. They don't explicitly say this to us, but it's sort of, it's an expectation that you grow with, and you sort of also put yourself in that environment of, I don't want my siblings to have a bad example to look at, or to have a bad example to make reference to. Okay. I should say that for me, that experience specifically it was quite different. And the reason why I say this is because, so my the sibling that follows me is just a year younger than me. Okay, so that's my sister. So like this year, for example, I'm 22 and my sister's 21, and we've always grown like, you know literally one behind the other, to a point where I have conversations with my sister right now, and it feels like I'm speaking to my age group. And technically, we are in the same age group because, I mean, what's 12 months really? And so I've never felt that, let's say, it's a burden really to have to think that to have to watch your every step, because simply because you're the firstborn and you're afraid of making mistakes. And I come from a household where my mother allows mistakes. She's always emphasized the fact that human beings grow by making mistakes. And so I've grown up in that environment, and I've been able to make mistakes without feeling the guilt of, oh, what's my brother going to say now, or what's my sister going to say now, and how will this affect them, and how will this affect their part. So on that basis, I have never felt like I have the pressure of setting the tone or setting the bar for anyone. I set the bar for myself, and my siblings set their own bars, in relative areas. Because, for example, in my family, right? So I'm doing accounting, and I've always been an academic. So growing up, I've been an academic and getting my 80%, or well, A's. I don't know what an A is equivalent to now, but that's been me. I've been an academic. Then I have my sister, who is very technical in terms of, if something is broken, we can all take it to her and she'll be able to fix it. And that's her area of expertise, naturally. Okay, yes, she's studying journalism right now, but she can fix things, and she can solve problems. Like now, there's a subject that I'm doing, financial management, and I always say, if she had to do that module, she'll probably pass with flying colors because of how her brain works. And then I have my brother. Okay, so I have two brothers. Okay, so the 10-year-old is very good in sports, like all sports. In fact, we are sitting at a point right now where we as a family don't even know which sport is his favorite, because he's so good at all of them. Then we have the baby, who's 4 years old, and the 4-year-old is musically gifted, pardon me. And you should see him when he dances, when he sings, when he plays a song on the piano. It's phenomenal. You can already see how people are born with music talents. So to now, I don't know, I think it would be a very difficult thing for my parents to now say, okay, you as the firstborn need to set the tone, because we are not even in the same we're not walking the same paths, if I can put it that way. We're not all gifted in the same areas, so that's one thing that contributed to us having to set the bar for ourselves, rather than looking at the next sibling or the older sibling. Okay. And then the other thing that I also found out is that firstborns usually struggle with the fact that they always get attention for a long period of time, and then suddenly there's a sibling that comes into the picture, and they now need to deal with the fact that they need to share this attention. As I've mentioned, my sister is only 1 year younger than me. I don't think by the time I was 2 years old I realized this thing that we call attention, which I feel you guys are now giving me a shortage of, so I've never had that experience, and I've never had trouble with that area as well, of being of the firstborn. I actually grew up having my attention shared. I grew up sharing things, so I never struggled really with that part of being the firstborn. And then there's also the thing of firstborns feel like they are the deputy parents. So my mom is a mom through and through. Okay. And when I say my mom is a mom through and through, I say my mom, you'll find my mom mothering in every situation that she finds herself in. She is a mother by nature. So you can understand she would never hand over that task of mothering to her daughter. So I've never had the burden of looking after my siblings, or feeling the sense of being the deputy parent. I've enjoyed my childhood. I've been a child through and through. I'm still a child, even even at the age 22, I still go to my mother's room, and I still like snuggle in her bed, and tell her, "Mom, I need attention," and I still get it. So I've never experienced that. And that's the thing about that's the beauty about being the firstborn, is that it's very different for everyone. Yes, we can all be the firstborns, and perhaps there are common things, you know, just like the ones that I've just mentioned right now. They seem to be the common things around all firstborns around the world. But then there are certain things where they might be common to other firstborns, and you like, but no, I've never felt that as a firstborn, and that's what happened in this case. Where I've been reading articles and articles, but I found actually there seems to be no similarity between me and these other firstborns. Being the firstborn has been, I don't know. I mean, besides, there's no job to it really. There's no. It's just a title that they give to you because you were the first child to be born, and that's how I've basically taken it, and that's how I felt about it. I've never felt like there's a job or there's a task description attached to it. Really, I've enjoyed being the firstborn. I enjoy being able to go through certain experiences and being able to advise my mom, for example, and say, I, for example, went to this primary school, but I went to this high school, and I think it would be better if my brothers went to the primary school at which I started my high school. The school is good. I feel they'd get a better education, they'd get better services in terms of sports and arts and all those different areas. And being able to say, okay, so and see how does that work for them, and I always smile when I see the opportunities that my brothers, for example, now have because of my experiences, what I've learned from my experiences and how I've handed that over to them. I mean, just last year we went to Japan together for his maths competition, and I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be a more proud sister than I was when I was with him at that camp. And to see that, yes, I only understood maths when I started grade 9, and here he is already being a maths guru and being on the newspapers in grade 5. And it's a fulfilling experience, really, for me. It really has been. And that's what I enjoy about being the firstborn. You get to go through certain experiences so your sibling can go through better. And I always say, if one of us can get better in a certain area, it's a bonus for all of us. And that's basically my firstborn experience in a nutshell. And I'd just like to find out from you guys, I mean, if you're the firstborn, what has it been like? Are you the deputy parent? Do you feel that you need to look after your siblings? And if you are a sibling that follows another sibling, what is your firstborn like? Do you feel like your firstborn sibling, or the first child, treats you like they are the, I don't know, deputy mother or deputy father? Just share your comments with me below on the comment section. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media handles. And until next week for the next episode, goodbye.